And we're back for round 3 of FNM Modern at Parker Banner Kent Wayne in Charlotte, North Carolina. We're going to be seeing a match from Kyle Perfetto on Esper Shadow, who we saw a little bit earlier, and Chase Robertson on Grixis Shadow, an old favorite. I think he's back on the Street Wraith plan as opposed to the non-Street Wraith plan.
And a little interesting tidbit, these two players know their decks very well, know each other's decks very well. They do live together, and they both play Shadow exclusively. Well, I can't say exclusively. You see Kyle Perfetto every now and then show up with Blue-Black Mill, a deck where I would much rather watch Birds taking shits than watching Blue-Black Shadow or playing against it.
Well, I personally like Birds, Marvin.
Mill.
Birds are one of my favorite pastimes. It doesn't matter what they're doing. So I'm going to have to disagree with you on that one.
Would you rather play against Mill or watch Birds?
Well, considering every deck I have has a good matchup against Mill, yeah, I'd go up against Mill. Easily.
And I see they opted to go odd-even. I'm not sure exactly who won the die roll there.
I'm sure we'll see in just a second, Marvin.
We're going to see life totals going down very quickly in this match. Or maybe not. They know each other well. They might be able to hedge something against each other. But I see Kyle went first with a turn 1 Inquisition and full text, way too many words swamp.
This match is pretty much going to be what a My Chemical Romance concert will look like.
Boring?
Sure. That's exactly where I was going. We got a turn 1 Ragavan. No other play matters. Especially in this matchup. Esper Shadow.
Kyle has a Fatal Push in hand. I'm pretty sure this monkey will meet its demise very soon.
Yeah, it's definitely going to have to in the mirror. I mean, geez, everything... Yeah, there it is. I was going to say, if a monkey is able to stick on the battlefield for at all, like a single connection, it could be just over.
What format they play?
Okay, so we got Dash Ragavan. He top decks that second Ragavan. And that, ooh, okay.
Unearth.
That's an Unearth, but I don't think he's going to opt to use that because the only creature in the graveyard there is Ragavan. He's going to play that Darcy and then just pass. Currently, Kyle needs to actually do something. He's been having to interact, but he's not.
I do see he has a Depth Shadow in hand.
I got a Ranger Captain, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's off that white, though. He needs to draw a second white because a Ranger Captain would actually be really good, but that Dress Down will stop just about any shenanigans that it could do at this point. So we'll end up seeing what happens. He's holding that... I think his shirt says "Bolt Me Daddy," chat. Yeah, it's "Bolt Me Daddy." That's a shirt. Yeah.
And I see Chase attempted to cast a Seasoned Pyromancer, and that was quickly met with a Drawn in the Lock.
He gets in with that Darcy, but I can't tell if he has Delirium. Two creatures?
When he swung, he only had two card types. 3.
Bobble,
Creature, land.
Creature, land, artifact, because he had that bobble.
No. That was expressive iteration that he took with the Inquisition on turn 1. So he still only had 3 types in the yard.
No, but I'm saying he casted a bobble on turn 1 with that Ragavan, remember?
Did he fetch?
Yeah. I don't think he fetched.
No.
Okay, so we got a Death Shadow on Kyle's side.
Currently a 2/2.
Not quite out of bolt range just yet, but we'll see what happens with it. I can't tell what he drew off that turn, but Ragavan and Dress Down are pretty huge at this point. He could trade that Ragavan off to that Shadow, or up, like it just Unholy Heated. could just unholy heat it. That works too. It's going to trigger that Darcy. Here comes that Ragavan, but he's
He's choosing just to cast it, not dash it in. And now Chase only with Dress Down in hand.
Still, that's a card, especially if he's trying to get to that Ranger Captain. That card is a pretty big house against it. He's gonna
Currently
go
Giver of Runes, which what I assume if he was able to play Ranger Captain, that's what he would be getting. As opposed to a Shadow. Chase currently fetching down to 11 here.
$11 all. It's like chat's having fun. We got an expressive from Mr. Chase. That was a good top deck. It doesn't really get much better.
Try to take a look at what he has in his hand here. A lot of these players opting to not show us what's in their hands. A little rude of them, I would say. But he exiles a swamp, plays a swamp.
Beautiful swamp. Arguably one of the prettiest land cycles I've ever seen. Which my deck has all of them in it. Looks like that Darcy is going to meet its demise unless Chase has some kind of counterplay to
Possibly a drawn on the lock here.
it. It sounds like he's thinking about it. Yeah, there it is. But he's okay, so he's just going to go ahead and do it anyways. Got a trigger from the Darcy, and he puts the land in the bin. And there's a Murktide. He probably should have saved that. Oh, no, it wouldn't have worked anyways.
Murktide's going to come in as a 7/7, 4 counters.
It's going to be hard for them to deal with. 2 hits for that thing is game over, as they say. But we'll see what Chase just top decks a land.
Well, Chase does currently have Delirium, so he can at least get one good block on the Murktide.
Yeah, but that's even... Or he won't be able to because he has to attack, so the Murktide's going to eat this thing up.
Yeah, but it will at least save his life total. Okay, so
Oh, I see what
Dress Down.
he's going to go ahead and dress down so he doesn't have to attack.
Depends of Thoughtseize.
Top decks a drown.
Currently not doing much against the Murktide, as Kyle only has one card in the graveyard. Looks like an Unearth or Drawn in the Lock.
In his graveyard, he only has Death Shadow.
What is a Death Shadow? Glare is the enemy of streams.
I don't know. Oh, he's going to counter whatever he cast. I think might have been a Consider. I think that was a Consider. That's my guess.
And Kyle opting not to attack here.
Unusual. Oh, he's just going to go ahead and eat that thing. I think he thinks that there's not going to be any rush for this thing. With such a low life total, I mean, there's a Death Shadow. It's a 3/3. It's a 3/3, but it'll go up.
But as big as Death Shadow can get, 12/12, definitely cannot block a flyer. Okay, let's see, he's opting to activate Seasoned Pyromancer from the graveyard, making 2 1/1s. And of course, he doesn't have the tokens he needs as well.
This game is so swingy. I mean, for a little while, Chase was kind of on the back foot, but now Chase has pretty big control with that Death Shadow because he can't swing in with that Murktide because he just dies on the crackback.
Well, currently the Death Shadow is only a 3/3, so he would have to bring his life total down even more. And without a fetch land, well, even with a fetch land going down to 7, he would take 6.
Pretty much
Yeah,
what
7/8 with the Seasoned Pyromancer token, so yeah, that would have been...
what he
And
has
it's
to,
doing
or basically either one of them just has to swing for lethal. Otherwise, you know, if one of them swings through and, oh, here comes a second Murktide. That's absolutely no good for Chase. Because if he swings with his Murktide, he can't block that Death Shadow, he just loses on the crackback. But if Chase gets low enough, he just dies automatically because he can't block those. He has to kill them in some way, shape, or form, but I don't think he plays any main deck answer to it.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
I don't know if they still play Terminator or anything like that.
I don't think so.
There's a Dash Dragon, and he's going for it. I'm not entirely sure what he's holding here, so okay. I think he might actually have a Bolt in hand. He might have top decked a Bolt, so what he's going to try to do is block those. No, he was trying to
Bait him.
think, yeah, but I think he saw the writing on the wall.
All right, going to game 2 here.
We're going into game 2. It looks like they're going to be bringing in some cards for each other. We'll have to see. I'm guessing we're going to probably see maybe those Dovin Mitos from earlier with Kyle, maybe? An uncounterable way to deal with all of Chase's interaction is pretty strong, in my opinion. But I could be wrong. I don't play the deck. I'm just an observer. He's definitely going to bring in those Sanctifiers. Maybe the Paths? Oh, Kai's got it. Okay. Kyle being nice enough to show us what he's boarding in. Opting up. No, he's going to take one path. Just the one. What will he take out? I wonder. Can't exactly tell what Chase is trying to board out, though. I'm trying to think what's really bad this matchup on the Grixis Dash Shadow side.
Trying to see he's bringing in. Or did he take out the bolts? Look like he's taking out bolts.
Yeah, I mean,
a lot of Death Shadow mirrors will board out their Thought Seizes.
yeah. Maybe Dress Down would come out.
Yeah,
That's a good point.
Dress Down seems like it'd be a little double-edged sword in a mirror match here. But also good against Murktide.
Yeah. Stopping it from getting any bigger is pretty huge.
That, and if he swings into a shadow, he can dress down. Murktide will keep whatever counters it has on it, but it will lose flying and then have to be blocked by a 13/13 shadow on the other side.
Very true, very true.
I wonder if they'll remember to reset life totals, or if Kyle will remember how to shuffle. Chase here has been playing Death Shadow for a number of years now. Last deck he played before Shadow was...
Well, it was Hollow One, I think.
Yeah.
He's played Shadow for quite
the
some
Hollow
time.
One deck. Learned about Shadow, sold his Hollow One deck, picked up Shadow, and has been on Shadow ever since. Pretty much has played every iteration of Shadow except for this Esper variant that Kyle's currently on.
Yeah. Verdict's still out on the Esper Shadow list. There's a lot of new, interesting decks or deck variants that Shadow's been trying out since the ban of Luris. Luris, the Dream Den, was a huge grinding engine for Death Shadow decks. They're already pretty good at grinding, but Luris kind of made it a little bit ridiculous, being able to flashback just about every creature you have, and just being a threat in all of itself.
Looks like Kyle drew a 7-card hand of what looked like to be just Esper control, no threats.
They're both going to go ahead and take a mulligan off this one. Hopefully the sixes are both good. As you know, Chase is, or Kyle's up a game on Chase here. So we'll have to see how this one goes. Generally speaking, you would expect a Death Shadow to board out things like Thoughtseize and Inquisition on the draw, but you might keep a few of them on the play. So definitely looking like Chase is going to be, or Kyle's going to be probably keeping this. I don't see why you'd want to throw that back. You got a couple of lands, but no way to cast that Sanctifier immediately. Yeah, I think I see, do I see 3 Watery Graves? Yeah, he's going to put back that Sanctifier. Makes sense. Makes sense. He's got that Kaya's guy on the hand. It could come in. The fact that it can block and make their opponent sack a creature is pretty big. Oh, he did have a Hollowed Fountain. I was wrong about that one.
Yeah, but if he doesn't have any fetch lands, it'd be hard for him to get the other Hollowed Fountain out of his deck.
Well, he bought him that Sanctifier at this point, so he won't need those double whites, at least immediately.
Chase plays a Bloodstained Mire, assuming he's going to fetch Shock. And will we see a Ragavan being dashed?
I'm going to say yes. If he has it, I mean, this is the perfect opportunity to do it. Because Kyle's not playing any marches, I don't think. Although 1 mana is not enough to kill a Ragavan. It's not instant speed prismatic ending exactly. Unless he ditches that Kaya's Guile to it. But I don't think he has any marches.
Yeah, when I saw his list the other day, I don't think he was playing any marches. I know he recently added 2 Otherworldly Light.
I didn't see any board. When he was fading it out, I don't remember seeing any. I could also be wrong. Who knows? I could be blind.
Oh no, he did bring in Path.
Yeah, like a single path.
Yeah.
Not both of them.
Okay, so he's opting. Let's see what he's going to do here. Thoughtseize?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a Thoughtseize here. Which is going to be pretty good against Kyle, because Kyle has more of an interactive hand, it seems. With the Death Shadow as the follow-up.
Kyle choosing to consider here.
He's considering his options, though. He's going to go ahead and bin that land. Would have been good if he had that Sanctifier still in hand, but yeah. 3 lands, Kaya's Guile, Prismatic Ending. I think he'd probably want to take that Prismatic Ending. Yeah, exactly.
Darcy, he'd want to keep Darcy on the field as long as he can.
Yeah, it's such a good value engine on any value Marktide type engine, or just anything that likes basically drawing cards off of each of their casts. That's pretty big. So just a land and pass for Kyle. I think he's going to try to get that 3rd land shocked in for that Kaya's Guile. But I have a feeling Chase has some sort of answer for it. No, I guess not. If he's going to iteration this turn, that's just what he's going to end up doing. He's getting that trigger off that Darcy. He's going to bin an iteration, then draw his 3.
Yeah, trying to get a little more information out of it. Exiles the Bauble.
He's going to go ahead and cast that trigger once more. Wants to keep that card, though. Now, does he have a 3rd land drop?
So I'm currently seeing Sorcery Land.
He misses his 3rd land drop, which is pretty big here. So Kyle's going to probably slam that Kaya's Guile here. I would probably have done it now, though, because if Chase has a Drown in the lock, he just drowns in response, and there's nothing Kyle can do about it.
And it seems like Chase's draw for turn was that island.
The top card of Kyle's deck is a Murktide. Yep. He's not quite... Actually, no, he can cast Murktide next turn. If he Kaya's Guiles now, he can just straight up cast that Murktide. Like I said, though, I would have done it on his end step to avoid it being drowned.
And a dash of Ragavan here, it looks like.
Possibly. Yeah, definitely not ideal. Since missing a singular land drop can put you so far behind in these matchups. Because everything's value.
Chat pointed out, Delirium is active with the Bauble out in the graveyard.
He's just gonna. I have a feeling he has that drown in hand, so he's gonna play this Ragavan for 1, not dashing it, and hold up drown for whatever Kyle could have. Yeah, there's that Kaya's Kyle. Probably should have done that much earlier.
Yeah, but it does need the drown.
Yep. Saw that coming.
Yeah, so currently, if Kyle plays that Death Shadow, it'll be a 1-1, which more than likely he would trade with that Ragavan if it comes in next turn.
I think he's probably going to slam that Murktide, though. So he's going to draw that Murktide. And
He does have the land he can play.
Yep.
Yeah, he could shock in the land.
I think he also has a Giver Writ in his hand. Unfortunately, it's what do you want to trade off? Do you want to just say, here's a Murktide, deal with it, or would you rather, build up a little bit of a board state? Just trying to figure out the math on this one. Yeah, he'd have to get 1, 2, 3. Yeah, he'd have to do all of that.
Alright, chooses to draw on a lock so he can get an extra instant and or sorcery in the graveyard for Murktide. Murktide should be coming in as a 7/7.
Yep. That's pretty big. And that Darcy has to attack in unless he does something.
And then next turn, that Death Shadow can come in as a 3/3 currently. Looks like Kyle has a Consider in hand.
Gonna go ahead and get a fetch over there for Chase. I couldn't exactly tell what he drew. It looked like either an Unearth or a Terminate. Unfortunately, the glare prevented me from seeing that. But we'll have to see how this one plays out. So that Murktide is a big boy. And yeah, it's an Unearth. That's what I thought it was.
Chooses an Unearth.
Not nearly as good as having a way to deal with that Murktide, but the value engine's strong in these ones. He's just going to eat that up. He's going to go ahead and play a 3/3 Death Shadow. I don't know if that's enough.
Kyle just draw another Riptide.
I think he did.
Currently uncastable.
Oh, there's one of those paths. So he did board both of those in, maybe. Maybe he had 3 in his board, just different arts. Because I forgot about that. I think that was... What dual deck were those ones from? It's like Fencer versus Koth or something.
No, I believe it was... Let's take a look here. Chat, do you know this one?
What art is that path from? Or what set? It's a full deck. Okay, so he went ahead and swung with that Murktide. Once again, not looking good for Chase. And if he doesn't find an answer for either of these, that's just it. Yep, he packs it up. Esper Shadow takes this one over Grixis Death Shadow. 2-0, actually.
And it was the Fencer versus Koth.
That's what I thought. All right, so that was round 3. We got one more round ahead. Hopefully we should get something interesting for you folks to watch. So if you go ahead, we'll stick with us. We'll be back after a hopefully short break, as long as everyone plays fast enough.
Yeah, look here, we still have a few matches going.
There are quite a few control players here, so we could unfortunately be a little longer, but we won't hold that against them. No.
And we'll be back shortly with let's do a little pack opening on the camera. See what we can get.
Sure. Yeah. We'll open some packs.
All right, so we'll be back in just a few moments.